should have closed that door back behind me, but in case I get distracted again, I'll just ignore it this time. But I wanted to say a few more things. I got cut off there and distracted, whatever. I wanted to say a few more things. I was leading into two things: butt pack versus backpack. Okay, I started by talking about Papa Bear, Robert Whitmore. Now, he had seen so many people die in the Rockies. This man was paid $500 per day, per diem, to go out with News 9 helicopter. That was the best helicopter they had in Denver, so he would go out with 9 News when somebody got lost in the Rockies, in the snow. Hunters, campers, whatever. He was the one that they sent out to find them. They would fly him in, drop him off, and he would find the people. A lot of times he found them dead. And he got so upset with that he started an institute for training people to not die in the wilderness or in crisis situations, in panic situations. Don't panic. That's rule number 1 of survival. Don't panic. Okay? And I'm looking at you, everybody out there. I want to look at you. I want you to look at my eyes. And I want you to listen to me, please. If you're a man, stop what you're doing. Stop thinking. Stop talking, whatever you're doing. Stop thinking of what you're going to say. Stop thinking of what you're going to tell me when next time you see me. Stop doing any of that. Just shut the hell up. Shut the fuck up and listen to me, because this could save your life, okay? There's a lot of people that are scared of their own shadow. And fear will kill you. Panic will kill you. Panic kills. If you can't keep your head where your body's at, you're a goner already. You're going to die. You're not going to make it, okay? I'm just saying that's panic is what kills people. And if a lot of times Papa Bear would go out and he'd find someone, they had a full tank of gas, they had seat cushions they could have torn out, and they could have popped a hubcap, put rocks in the hubcap, and then put gasoline in there and heated something up and stayed warm. They froze to death, or they got hypothermia out of just not knowing what to do from panicking, okay? So, don't panic. Rule number 1, survival. Be where you're at. And I also mentioned Bill. He said the same thing. You got to force your head to be where your body's at. Keep your brain, your thinking part of your body, where your body is at. Otherwise, you're going to, make a stupid mistake. You're going to get cold. Your carotid artery is going to get chilly. Your blood's going to get sluggish. It's going to slow down. Pretty soon you're getting dopey. Pretty soon you think, oh, it's really warm. I'm going to lay down and take a nap. Boom, you're dead. You die from freezing to death. Basically, it's really hard to freeze to death. You can die very easily of hypothermia, of losing, body heat, and then your extremities, you start shivering. When you start shivering, it's time to get warmed up. Shivering is your body's response to getting too cold in your body core. So start moving, exercising, doing some friction, whatever, jump up and down, do some calisthenics, run, walk around, bang your arms against your legs. Do whatever you got to do to, get your extremities warmed up to where your heart's warmed up. Okay, get your blood moving, blood flow. Clint Curtis, whatever his name was, Chinese Tai Chi doctor down in Arkansas. Blood flow. They would throw him dead people, basically people who are dying. The medical industry didn't know what they were doing. Baxter Medical Industry, and they hospital there and Mountain Home. And they'd give them to him, but here, they're going to die. Have them. He said every single one they threw at him, he cured them. So, blood flow. Keep your blood flowing. Keep your brain going. And as long as we're on that little topic, carotid artery right here, next to below your ear and back there. In an extreme cold weather, tie something around there like a handkerchief, a scarf or something. That will keep that blood warmed up enough to get to your brain. If it gets too cold, it'll get sluggish, and it'll get sluggisher, and pretty soon your brain's not functioning right, and you make bad decisions. Okay. Another thing is keep your kidneys warm. I'm not going to show it to you right now because I'm wearing it, but I've got a kidney wrap. I got a couple of them. I'd like to get a real good one, but in the winter, if your kidneys are against your back, right? And a lot of times when I'm dehydrated, I know it because my kidneys really hurt. So, but your kidneys are against your back, and if you can keep that wrapped with wool, a good wool, cashmere wool or whatever, alpaca wool. Marjorie Wildcraft has a guy, Doug, can't remember his name, but he talks, she has a video on that, Marjorie Wildcraft, look her up on YouTube. I'll try to put a link down if I manage to do it, but. And there's a family that raises sheep, and they make woolen kidney wraps for people, and she sells them about once a year. She sells them off, and I'd love to get one, but I can't afford them. So look on Amazon, get some kind of kidney wrap, keep your kidneys warm. A lot of your blood is exposed at your kidneys, and if that gets cold, if your kidneys get cold and your carotid artery gets cold, you're gonna have a very hard time functioning, keeping your body core warm. So if you keep that blood from cooling down, you're gonna stay warmer and stay more have a higher chance of survival. So back to Bob Whitmore. Bob Whitmore. Um, I'll back up a little bit because I'm going to rewind. Okay. We're going back to when I first took hunter safety. This would have been about, I don't know, 77, 76, 77, somewhere in there. I started dating the woman that was going to be my wife. The first woman I kissed after I got saved, I married. Okay. That's, kissing and sex is very sacred in God's kingdom. Some of you may not believe that, but that's the case. That's fact. Okay, so I want to say this, that when I started dating her, we didn't know nothing about courting at the time. Okay, it was just before all that, and before reality struck into my life. Biblical truth and reality, and as applies to your real life. Anyway, I was informed that I was going to hunt. I'm like, okay. It was an order, basically. You're going to go hunting with us. Okay, fine. Brother-in-laws and my father-in-law. And I started doing that. But my brother-in-law sold me my first rifle, and started going hunting. And that comes into play here because of, I don't remember. Well, I had to take hunter safety, so I didn't want to take it on. Most of them were like at Gart Brothers and Dave Cook, were a 2-day, Saturday, Sunday course. It was split over 2 days, and I didn't have the time to mess with that. I looked and found a 1-day course, and it was 1 day, like Saturday, all day Saturday, instead of half a day or something. I didn't want to drive downtown twice, Dave Cook or Gart Brothers. So it was done by Papa Bear Whitmore, Robert Whitmore. He was adopted by the Sioux tribe, and he was a mountain man, a genuine mountain man. For the movie Jeremiah Johnson with Robert Redford, they made 3 completely authentic Hawken rifles from all original parts, functioning, working Hawken rifles. They gave one to Robert Redford, they gave one to Robert B. Zemeckis, the director, and they gave one to Bob Whitmore. Okay. When I took, with my wife and 2 children, we took hunter safety at his house, and his teepee was set up in the back, genuine Cheyenne teepee, or it might have been Sioux, I don't know, but he said, you can handle any of the guns. There was the blunderbuss, but the Hawken rifle was there, and I was like, oh my gosh! And it was so rock solid. I could have stood like that and fired around at 1,500 yards with the sights on it, and hit it. Hit what I was aiming at. No wavering at all. Nothing of that. It was rock solid. It was beautiful, beautiful piece of work. So anyway, Bob Whitmore got one of those. So I'm putting all that to say out there. This guy was a survival expert. He's kept a lot of people alive. I would be dead. My wife would be dead. I would not have had a family had it not been for Bob Whitmore, because we got caught in a blizzard. 66 Volkswagen Bug fell through the snow into skiff of snow, driving on it, and all of a sudden, boom! It dropped through 3 foot of snow, and we dug for 3 hours and walked for 6 hours to get out of there. And it was in a blizzard, sideways blizzard, with both of our children. I had my daughter on my back, and she had my son on her back. Topped up. Ian he sleeps for all of our survival experiences. Half the time he's hanging upside down, totally oblivious to sound asleep. Never woke up once. My daughter Anna, on the other hand, was like, are we going to die? Are we lost? Are we going to die? Now, later on that, when Ian would start asking when we were driving in the mountains, are we going to get lost? Are we lost? I'd say, yeah, we might be lost already. I don't know. So he started memorizing scenery. He'd look back and memorize scenery as we were driving away from it. He remembers every rock, every tree, every house, every landmark. It's just amazing the memory that he developed as a little kid because of that. Worried about being lost, So it was kind of a nasty thing to do. But I was just playing along. Yeah, we might be lost already. I don't know. I didn't think I was lost, but I got to the point where I listened to him. He said, "Turn here." I'd listen to him. I'd do what he told me to do, and it happened a couple of times. And I trusted his judgment because I knew he'd remember better than I did. So anyway, saying all that to say the fact that Bob Whitmore was a survival expert. He started a thing called Wilderness Institute of Survival Education, WISE. Look it up. Wilderness Institute of Survival Education, to train people how to not die in the wilderness if they're out there. How to start fires, how to stay warm, how to build shelters and things like that. Okay, how to not panic. Don't panic. The best thing you can do is, if you get lost, don't get any loster. Just sit down. Shut up, sit down, force your brain to be there where your body is. Hug a tree and put your back up against the tree and hug the tree. Put your arms around the tree backwards. Sit there, talk to the tree, talk to the rock, whatever, talk to the, whatever you see there, animals, do birds or something, a squirrel come up and keep you company, whatever. But just don't go wandering off. Don't try to get found by walking around. You're just going to get more lost. Stay where you're at. Be where you are at. Be where you are at. Stay where you are at. Stay by, if you're in a vehicle, stay there with the vehicle. Do not get, I just saw this on Matt's Off-Road Recovery, MORR, Matt's Off-Road Recovery, Utah. Hurricane, Utah is where they're based out of. And they went out to look for an old couple, and they were pretty worried because the couple had left their vehicle. Well, looking for a big vehicle out in the desert versus two people walking around, and they could be over this dune and that below, or they might have fallen down right as you drive by them at 20 miles an hour. And you might be looking for them with all your power, not with 5 people in the car, but you're not going to find them if they're a little tiny figure on the horizon. You can't see them. You can see a vehicle a lot easier than you can see people, even from a plane. More from a plane. Definitely applies to a plane. If a helicopter, something's coming over, they need to see a vehicle. They go and check the vehicle out, and then they got to try to find the person that's stupid enough to walk away from the vehicle. Okay, don't leave your vehicle. Stay there. Now, the other thing that I wanted to get to eventually here, I'll get to it. Okay, my point in mentioning Papa Bear was Timothy came up with the saying, never backtrack, bring your backpack, okay? Never backtrack, bring your butt pack. Because Papa Bear said this, he said a number of situations, survival situations, people were lost or whatever, they took their backpack off, it fell in the river, or they fell in the river, their backpack was still up on the bank, they went swimming, their backpack was up there. He said, have your really critical survival stuff in a butt pack and never take it off. If you want to strip down naked and go swimming with your butt pack on you. Everything in it should be waterproof. It shouldn't be that heavy. Fire starting gear, waterproof stuff, waterproof. Might have a little bit of fuel tablets, a little food tablets, something like that. Have it on your in your butt pack, and have what you absolutely need. A shelter, poncho, space blanket, whatever you deem or have done enough training with to know that you absolutely have to stay alive. 5 C's, what are they? Credit card, cuties. If you're in college, credit card, cuties, computer, car, catch. Yeah. No, it's cover, like poncho, space blanket, something like that. Cordage, something to hang a shelter up with. Cutting, a knife or something to cut with. Container to heat water with, to boil water so you can drink it safely. And there's always 5, there's only one of them I can't remember. Okay, cordage, cutting, cover, container, combustion. That's usually when I forget is combustion. You need to be able to start a fire. Okay, so that's kind of funny. Timothy, there's 4 reasons he got in touch with me, and one was I was intelligent, spiritual, I cared about people, and the 4th one was kind of funny. I couldn't remember them all, but the one that I forgot was intelligence. He thought I was intelligent. But the other one, the 4th one was I occasionally use an F-bomb. I'm honest enough to use an F-bomb. Okay, so I'm honest. Whatever. If you say that, I look in your eyes and kind of see that you're honest. Well, okay. I hope you can see that. So I say I'm gonna look in here right now. Can you see that? I don't know. I'm not close enough to see it. For me, not good, but I hope I'm not being interrupted again. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm honest. I wear my heart in my sleeve. I mean, if I do something stupid, I'll tell you. If I set up a tent wrong, I'll tell you. I mean, I've done that many times. Like the other day, I told Timothy set his tent up. I said, "Did you stake it down?" No. I said, "Well, you need to stake it down." Nope, not going to do it. Okay, fine. I don't care. But I'll tell you, I told him the stories of my family, not my personal family, but my cousins were out at Lake McConaughey one time, Nebraska, right? And they set up their tent, little pup tent, dome tent. And they're out on the boat, and they see the tent cartwheeling over the lake. Wind caught it and it's sinking. It's taking on water pretty rapidly. Well, the only problem with that scenario is that their little son was sleeping in the tent when it happened. Well, he's no longer sleeping. He's probably pretty traumatized or worried about life. So they zipped over there in their boat and fished it out of the water. So another time, my brother and I were up hunting in the Rockies, and we set up the pup tent, dome tent again. And dome tents are pretty cool because they're round, right? Well, they're round and they roll pretty good. They can roll cartwheel or they can roll over end. But we set it up and we threw a whole bunch of sleeping bags and gear into it, stove, lantern, all the things we're going to use for the night. Threw it and figured, no, that's plenty of weight. We didn't bother to stake it down. Come back a couple hours, went up for a hike, come back a couple hours. There was no tent there. Looked around, 200 or 300 yards away is my tent up against a tree up the hillside. Yeah, stake your tent down. I survived a near miss in a tornado in one. Tents further away from me, further away from the tornado, were never found. I was in this dome tent and I had not staked it down from the direction the wind came from. Eventually came from. I staked the south down and did not stake the north down. The north was where the tornado came from. So I'm in there, arched on my back. I grabbed the two tent stakes through the corners, the poles, through the fabric, and gripped them with all my power. And I arched my back up, with all my weight lifted up on those two corner stakes, poles. I held it down and survived. If it had lifted me up, I'd have been gone. I could have gotten stabbed by a pole. I could have gotten broken neck or whatever if it had started wheeling me around. So that was a near miss, and I learned. I think that was my final lesson. Hopefully, my final. No, it wasn't. I did another stupid one. I set a tent up right here, and I admitted it. It was a nice little dome tent I got. Well, it was this piece of junk from China, but poles were crappy. I set up. We did not stake it down. We did not finish guying it out and staking it down. Well, the wind got it and just shattered most of the poles. In fact, I gave a couple of them to Timothy. Yeah, they're junk. You can have whatever you want of them. You can have them all if you want. So, anyway, yeah, that was my third. I heard one from my family the time my brother and I were hunting. This one here. So yeah, it's a never to be repeated experience. Basically, you shouldn't have to repeat it. And let me tell you this: there's three kinds of men in the world. Okay, I'm talking to you. Hey Timothy, I'm talking to you. No, seriously, there's three types of men in the world. There's types that can read something in a book and learn about it, learn the lesson. There's the type of men who can listen to other men and learn from their experiences. And there's a third kind that just have to go out and piss on that electric fence themselves. And it's a shocking experience, let me tell you. I got hit by an electric fence, not there, but I got hammered with one. My son opened a gate and said, "Come on through, Dad." And I put my arm here toward the fiberglass part of the pole. I wasn't reaching to grab the wire. That was a flat tape, stainless steel wire in a flat tape, like a poly tape. And the other side was a T-post, right? I had a Carhartt coat on. I had winter boots on. When I reached out to touch that thing, just through my glove, I had leather gloves on too, Carhartt and everything. Through my glove, a single strand of that steel wire was facing toward me rather than he didn't tape it up. It should have been taped up a lot better. It was facing toward me. The jolt went through that. I saw it go through my heart, and it came out my arm through the Carhartt jacket and down that ground. What ended up being the ground? It went to the shortest way to ground, right? It went right through my heart to go to ground, right across my chest, and I could literally see it go through my heart. And he said, "Dad, I'm so sorry." I said, "Did you?" I staggered over to his truck, and he helped me over. And I said, "Did you hear anything?" And he goes, "Yeah, Dad, it sounded like a gunshot." So it sounded like a gunshot. What happened? He heard it go through my heart, or he heard it. I didn't know why I asked if he heard anything because I didn't hear anything. I saw it, and I wondered if there was any noise. I guess maybe I had a clue that maybe it was some hint that it was there was a noise. But he said, "Yeah, it sounded like a gunshot, Dad." He said, "I'm so sorry." So I went home that day and I read in a magazine, one of his cattle magazines, it said, "Don't use anything higher than 20 joule charger because on your fencing because it can kill somebody." Well, I had got hit by a 20 joule charger. It's pretty damn high. Don't ever get hit by it. Let me tell you what. I just recently, not even anywhere near, I think a 6 joule. I was trying to get under. He had a gate where you had to go under. I bent over and went under. Well, I got a little bit too close to it, my back, and it hit my back and slammed me down on the ground, just like bam, like flattened me. So don't get hit by that. Okay, so that was all. Bunny trail, bunny trail, bunny trail, bunny trail. Okay, so where are we at? Tell me where we're at. I have not gotten to my butt pack story. So Bob Whitmore, I didn't finish it. Okay, so Bob Whitmore said this. He said, have your stuff your gear in a butt pack and never take it off. If you strip down to go naked, go skinny dipping, have your butt pack on. Wear it. If you want to have your stuff hanging out or your whatever you want to, go, skinny dipping, nude, bathing, have at it. But wear your butt pack because you don't know what's going to happen. You know when it's going to happen. Because you've seen too many people dead because they had a backpack. It was on the beach. It was on the cliff, at the top of the cliff. They were at the bottom of the cliff. They should have had their backpack on when they fell. Or they should have had their backpack on when they fell in the river. Or they should have had their butt pack on when their backpack fell in the river and they went downstream. White water, gone. So they died because they did not have their survival gear with them. They couldn't do a shelter. They didn't have a butt pack with a cutting, combustion, cover, container, cordage. 5 C's of survival. Have those. Watch, I would say the best guy on it is Doug. Wilderness Outfitters. I don't know. I'll try to put a link for it. Look up 5 C's of survival. David Canterbury. Yeah, Dave Canterbury. Watch him. He has a lot of videos on that. And a lot of people will have it too. The 5 C's. Cordage, cutting, combustion, cover, container. Cordage, cutting, container. Cordage, cutting, combustion, container, cover. Yeah. Okay. 5 C's. Have them with you. Have them in a butt pack. Have it with you all the time. Yeah, you can have some, like I said, a few, energy bar, something like that. A package with some fuel tabs, military fuel tabs would be good. They're always good to start a fire with. Have 5 or 6 different ways to start a fire, and that's pretty easy to do. So, all right. I think I'm going to call this one good. Let me see if there's anybody on here that wants to say anything, and then I'll call it good. I wish I had my little flippity-dee thing here. I bought 2 tripod selfie sticks, and I can't find, neither one of them came with the device that's supposed to, they pictured was supposed to come with to have my phone attached to it. So I'm using the old junker one, the first one that I got. I'll show it to you right here. And this one had a remote, which would really be nice to have right now. And fits in right there. I should have taped it in there with something. I should have put a Velcro safety on it. Somewhere it slipped out in my butt pack, in my bag, whatever, I don't know, in my cover, my camouflage chair backpack thing, which I had a backpack thing on it. But anyway, I like this one. It's okay. It holds the phone good. It's fairly stable. It's not very heavy at the bottom, so it's. But I look at how many of my subscribers have camera and stuff, and how many of you have good professional tripods. And I wish I had better equipment. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Someone wants to donate, go to Amazon, buy one, get one, give one, give one, get one. Give one away, get one. Look on there. I'll throw something in there. My how to get out of Babylon wish list. Okay, you should be able to find that pretty easily. How to get out of Babylon, Jerry Diamond. How to get out of Babylon wish list. Look on there. A lot of things there I need. And I'm going to keep buying stuff. I don't care. I don't give a rip. I buy 100 steaks. Is that for me? No, not a one of them. I did not buy steaks for me. I bought about 150 steaks so far. And, I'm not buying them for me. I'm buying them to help other people. And if everybody else was unselfish and giving, we'd have a whole different world right now. That's all it would take. A little bit of love to share with other people. Okay. All right. A little bit of compassion for other people. That's something Timothy preaches to me, right? And I'm trying to absorb that and deal with it, because people do you dirt and they say bad things about you, and, okay, I forgive you. But doesn't mean God's going to let it slip forever. You need to clean up your life. You need to start caring about other people, not just yourself, and not just your own stuff. Stop being selfish. I'm talking to you. Yeah. I think you know who you are. Not you, but you. Somebody else. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to somebody else. Okay, that's it. All right, good night. I'm going to call it good here. See if anybody else happened to get on. This afternoon's the only one. What do you sit at your computer all day long there, bud? What do you do for a living? Crud. I screwed it up. Okay, Captain Kaboom. I'm going to get back on here, everybody. So if you do happen to catch this, I'm going to read from the Spirit Flyer series. If my voice doesn't go, my voice might be gone. It's getting raspy. All right, good night.